Welcome back, you guys. In today's video, I'm going to give you a quick start guide to making your own homemade kombucha. So if you want to see this, then stick around. If you are new to my channel, hello, welcome. I'm so happy that you clicked on this video. And let me just tell you a little about myself. My name is Sarah, and I'm a homeschooling mom to 5 kiddos, ages 10 and under. And on my channel, I like to share videos on homeschool, motherhood, DIYs, and faith. If you like content like that, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so that you're notified every time a new video comes out. I have had this on my list of videos for a long time. Probably about over 2 months ago, I decided I wanted to do this as a video, and I'm now making it. Really because my friend Megan over at Pennies and Salt saw one of my Instagram stories about my homemade kombucha, and she was like, you should do a quick start guide on this. So her saying that to me kind of pushed this video up to do it faster than I was originally planning, because otherwise it might not have came out for another month or two, who knows. But with that being said, I'm just going to show you how I make kombucha. I actually have a store-bought kombucha in my fridge because my husband bought me this, and let me tell you, mine tastes way better than this, which is crazy because I was like, this is probably going to be way better than mine, and then I tasted it, I was like, oh my gosh, I like mine way better. This one does have a little bit more carbonation, but I like mine better. So there are a few ways that you can make your own kombucha. The first way is you find a friend who has some starter tea and an extra SCOBY and use that as your starter tea and SCOBY. Another thing you can do is buy them, but I'm not sure where to buy them and what is a safe option to buy them, because I've heard that some people like to scam on this, and you want to make sure you're getting a good kombucha starter and SCOBY and not like some weird thing. I got mine from a friend, but I also heard that you can get GTs. So this is GTs, a plain GT. This is the key. It has to be a plain GT. And I guess the GT leaves enough SCOBY inside of it. It will form a new SCOBY. So I heard that you can take not a flavored one. It has to be completely plain, a plain GT kombucha, and you can use this as your starter tea and SCOBY. I did not do that, so I can't really tell you the steps to do that, but I think it's the same exact thing as I'm going to show you, but instead of using what I'm going to use, which is my starter tea and SCOBY, you would just pour in the GT's original kombucha into it and then let that ferment. So you can do that. So kombucha is really good for your gut health, and that is why I drink it. And I like that on the second fermentation, I can do any flavor that I want. And you can experiment with things. This is going to be a 2-part series. So the next video, I will show you how to do the second fermentation. And this one will just be the first fermentation. This right here is my kombucha making station, okay? Like when it's stationary and sitting and waiting and fermenting is what I was really trying to get at here, fermenting. So this is where I keep everything. It's just one of my kitchen cabinets, and I cleared everything out so that I could create this space. I did have like bottles and cups and stuff, and I just moved them somewhere else or got rid of them and downsized. In this jar right here, which is a 1-gallon ball jar, I got this at Walmart for like $8, is a whole bunch of SCOBYs, which stands for symbiotic cultures of bacteria and yeast. There is a little bit of starter tea in there as well. So what that means is that is fermented tea inside of there along with the SCOBY. And it's been sitting in there for a little bit, and I just usually keep it. Sorry guys, I got a whiny baby right now. So Miss Joy is joining us. She's kind of cranky today. Say hi. Hi. Hello. I don't know. She's not cranky. She's just kind of like clingy today, huh? You want your mama today? Yeah. Yeah. You love your mama? Mama. So, Anyway, what I was saying is I keep that in there until I'm ready to ferment my next batch. So I'm going to take you along through the whole first and second fermentation process. So the first step is to boil some water and then steep your tea. So let's do this. Okay, so what I do is I just take about 4 to 6 cups of water. Let's see if I can do this. Sorry, it's a little. And I dump it into just a pot, and I bring this to a boil. You are supposed to use either black tea or green tea. I have used both. I started with green tea because that's what I had, and now I tried black tea. I don't know, it's up to you, but you have to use plain black or plain green tea, like no flavors added to it, just completely plain. Okay, so I let my water come to a boil. It's almost pretty much there. And what I do is I take 8 tea bags, and they had the tabs on them. And what I do is I just kind of put them together, cut the tabs off, and then tie the strings together. I do this because it's just easy to collect them all after, because they're all in one big bunch, instead of just trying to scoop each one out individually. I am just going to throw them in the pot, and I am going to let this steep for about 20 minutes, and then we will go on to the next step. Okay, so after about 5 to 10 minutes, I like to take the tea bags out. This is a little hard to do one-handed here. And put them in here. And then I take 1 cup of organic sugar. I am using this organic cane sugar from Walmart. And I just put it in the pot. And I kind of give it a little stir. And then I'm going to let it sit for about 5 more minutes. That's pretty much all kombucha is just fermented tea. But you also do need to have a SCOBY and the starter tea. Alright, so after this has steeped a little longer, I'm going to just put this in here. I'm going to throw that away. Then I'm just going to put a lid over it and put it on the back burner and leave it until it gets to room temperature. This is really important. All right, you guys, so the next thing is to have your SCOBY and your starter tea. So I have about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of starter tea and my SCOBY. Now, obviously, you have multiple layers of SCOBY here. Every time you do a batch of kombucha, it will grow a new SCOBY. So you can give them away to a friend. You can make a SCOBY hotel. You can stick them in your garden because they're really good for that too. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I bought this funnel. It's just kind of like a wider funnel. I bought this at Walmart around the canning section. I'm just going to take my tea and I'm going to pour it right in. Because this is now room temperature. You do not want this to be hot at all. It has to come to room temperature, because if it does not, I made a big mess. If it does not, you can burn your SCOBY and kill it. So you do not want to kill it. So now that I poured my tea in, I'm going to fill this up with water to the top. Filtered water. You have to use filtered water. That's very important too. To use filtered water when you're making your tea, and filtered water when you're adding it to this. Okay, so here's my water, and now I'm just pouring it to the top. I'm making a big mess. Okay, so now that it's filled to the top, I'm just going to take the same thing that I mixed my tea with, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of a stir. And look at that SCOBY floating around in there. So funny. Makes me laugh every time. So your SCOBY might float to the top, or it might go down to the bottom, and wherever it sits is fine. That's not a big deal. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to take a flour sack cloth, and I'm going to stick a rubber band over it, and I'm going to cover it. And then I'm going to stick it up in my cabinet, close my cabinet and wait 7 to 10 days. All right, you guys, so that is how I make my homemade kombucha. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions, and I will do my very best to answer them. And if you don't want to miss the next video on how to flavor it and make it carbonated, then make sure that you're subscribed below, and don't forget to hit that little bell so that you're notified every single time I upload a video. All right, guys, have a blessed day.